All right, traders, George here, and time to talk about the art of the breakout. I'm going to show you some key tools to pull together so that you can look at breakouts on your own. For you DSR traders, I'm going to show you what's happened here over the last week and look at some of our favorite signals here. But for starters, let's break it down to the basics. Here's what you need to be a breakout trader. Horizontal levels. That's the number one thing that you need to have, is a horizontal level, so that you can use that as part of the strength into the breakout signal. The second thing you need is at least one momentum strength indicator. I'm going to be using 3 in the DSR model. The trigger for entry, what would get you into the position once these other conditions are present. The fourth and fifth are less essential, the fourth one more essential than the fifth. But the fourth one is an entry filter, and that would be what condition might exist that would keep you from taking a signal that meets these 3 criteria here. And then a filter that you used for an active position. What might you do to potentially limit loss or book better gain? So I'm not even going to address the fifth one here. The only thing I'm going to talk about relative for an entry filter is know where you're going in your breakout. How far do you have to run? And that distance for your market and your chart type and period value could become a useful entry filter. But let's scroll back here and I'll show you what the DSR has done for the last week in oil. So for the DSRs, obviously I'm using our proprietary indicator for those horizontal levels. For momentum, I'm going to look at the simplicity of either these lines being up or down when we're at a DSR level, and then the fib dots and fib candles, 2 more of our indicators. I'm going to look to see that they're showing the proposed trend color as well. So I'm going to scroll through price here and just show you these signals that happened over the last 5 days. This is on a 150 tick chart here for oil. So here's a DSR level. Is this line moving down? Yes or no? It's moving down. Do we have a black candle? Yes. Fib dots, black. We take out the floor of this DSR by 1 tick. You're short, you exit on the fibs. That's plus 7 ticks, okay? $70 there. Looking for a new breakout. This guy, while it did make a new structure low, RSI was moving up when this candle was moving down, so that did not qualify. Here, RSI is moving up as we break out of this DSR level. Fib candles and fib dots, so all conditions are met there. Fib dots scoop up 17 on that run. Here's RSI moving up. White candle, green fib dots, takes out the top here, rolls over, stops out minus 14. RSI moving up, white candles, green fib dots, takes out the ceiling of this DSR here, plus 11. RSI, dots, candles, fib out here, minus 6. RSI, dots, candles, plus 15. RSI, dots, candles, DSR level, plus 2 there. This breakdown here happened away from the DSR, so I didn't look into that one. Obviously, the secondary really moved down quite well there. Here's one filtered out. RSI moving down and sideways as candles are either flat or moving up. It actually gives a short signal that moves in favor pretty well there. RSI moving up, dots, candles, DSR level, plus 15s. RSI moving up, dots, candles, DSR level taken out, plus 7s. Breakdown here, moving down on RSI, black candles, black fib dots, DSR level, that's minus 3 on the fib dots being taken out. The secondary added 15 there if you happen to look into those. Here's a breakdown here, minus 6. Here's a breakout here, plus 11. Here's a breakout here that's minus 11. Here's a breakdown that's minus 8. Here's a breakout that is plus 2. Here's a breakout that's plus 23, and that's the real attraction of this style of trading, is being in for these momentum runs. Almost through here. We've got a breakdown, plus 31. That's some folding money right there. Here's a little breakout, plus 7s. Here's a breakdown, minus 11. Breakdown, break even. Breakout here, extra strength for that entry, adding a couple more ticks there for a DSR off to the left. That picked up 24. If you didn't add those 4, it would have picked up 28. Second strike on this one here is a minus 3. We saw a plus 15 on the other one. That comes after this minus 3 here on this breakout. Here is a breakout, minus 8. Here is a breakdown -9. Here is a breakout +22. That's it. So for the last week here of August, we had 25 trades, 60% win rate, picked up 120 ticks when it's all said and done. So that's $1,200 just trading one lot there. If you do that every week, that's $4,800 for the month. That's right in line with how these breakouts have been performing for past months, typically in the mid 60s for win percentage and in the $4,000 camp for gains there. And all I'm doing is looking at that strength of signal matrix I just showed you there and looking to go in with one contract. The number of trades are relatively small on a week-to-week basis, and it's really stuff like this that makes the strategy work. The fact that we know where there's going to be a key breakout likely, and if it runs, we've got a good way to handle that using the fib dots here to scoop up those gains. And you only need a handful of these things to really make this strategy profitable, even though the win rate's into the 60% camp. As long as oil is ranging the way it is, and this is after we've had range compression coming out of the 104s, 103s down into the lower and mid 90s, it's still doing really well here. So there's your look at breakouts on the DSR model. Here's the core concepts that drive that performance. You'll note that there's no volume or econ reports or any fundamentals as part of what makes this go. It's just simply trade what you see. That'll do it for now. We'll see you back in the live room.